Thank you very much for joining me, Daria, today. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you a little bit, working together. And I have enjoyed, honestly, all of the sessions that we have had together and all the communication in between sessions. And I'm grateful that you accepted to be here and gave me your precious time.
Thank you, Paria. Likewise, it was very productive and very lovely 3 months of my life. And thank you for having me here. I think I joined also because I wanted to share a bit of my story, and maybe, just maybe, someone would find it valuable and helpful and will feel better after this.
Yes, thank you for doing that. So should we dive into the
Let's do it
together? Yes.
Yeah.
I always like to go back to the beginning because for me, it's so interesting, the transformation that I see in my clients and the comparison in terms of growth. I always, in the beginning, I told you the same, that you're already a lovable, beautiful person, and it just shows your ambition for becoming the next version of yourself. It's not for fixing you, it's more about equipping you with tools and processes and supporting you to step into that next level. So I'm very curious to hear about that stage of your life, or that point where you were professionally and personally during the time that you decided to invest in coaching with me, and we basically had the first encounter and talked about it.
Yeah, perfect question. And it's so interesting even for myself to kind of tell myself the story, the narrative back then. So maybe a bit of context about myself. I'm a young woman, Ukrainian, that lives, I live in Helsinki, and I've been in tech Okay, am I back?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. And I've been in tech my all conscious life, starting from university, and my career choice was always around building a career in tech. So I've been working for the company, for the startup and scale up environment for the last 8 years. So I've been building my career step by step, and then I became a CMO. So finally I achieved something that I really wanted, like to be one of the women leaders on the C-suite, making big decisions, big budgets and everything. And 6 months after I stepped into my role, I was like, okay, so I got it. So now what? So,
the $1 million question.
Yeah. And so, so it was kind of, I didn't completely understand what was going on back then with me, because I was kind of frustrated, kind of too emotional, kind of maybe tired, kind of, I think I lacked this vision of what's next, what would be my next step. And I kind of felt a bit of this disconnection between, okay, yeah, I'm Daria, a CMO, my young age, and then inside I felt like, okay, is that it? So yeah, I've been in therapy for 2 years already when we started coaching, and coming from my background and living through like war in my country, adapting in a new country, navigating new roles, and everything that was happening back then. So it was a necessary step for me. But then, okay, I realized why I react, why I understand myself better. But again, the question was like, now what? What to do with it?
Yeah, exactly. Like how to go from basically this self-awareness and this all reflection that you had,
to
something that I can, it's more tangible, like something that I can act on or, use.
Yeah. And you know that I really love to reflect.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah. And I think I got a bit stuck of being this like
Mm-hmm.
overthinker and perfectionist, and like, yeah, I have to calculate everything and everyone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was very deep into that. So but also I had this curiosity, and I found your Instagram profile actually very accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved, what piqued my interest is that you're an ex Spotify tech leader and woman. Like the way you were communicating your posts, I felt seen already. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I told you that before, but the post that triggered my attention was like, if you rather invest money in learning and coaching rather than buying a luxury bag,
Yeah.
then coaching is for you. And I'm that type of a person.
I have been that too. Like, it's
Yeah,
maybe part of our progress, right?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I felt that this is something that I'm interested in, and yeah, I think. I reached out and we
Mm-hmm.
talked a bit in DMs, and then our first just like let's meet session was already so um, insightful, and you gave me a lot of value on the first session, even before like we started working together. Just you gave me this space to think, to reflect, to understand what is this, why I had this intention to do something, and to change something in my life.
Mm-hmm.
um, and yeah, I felt seen actually, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why I decided to trust my gut and go into it.
Yeah, I remember actually exactly what the session that we had, which was basically a discovery call. It
Yeah,
was summertime, just before both of us, our vacation time.
yeah,
I was sitting in our terrace actually
yeah,
having the session, and you were asking me about, Paria, can you give me like what are your credentials? What are like, and I told you, Daria, I can sit here for hours, talk about
yeah.
my capabilities, but it is not about me.
Hmm.
It's about you daring to take that step. It felt scary because I knew you are like on the edge of like entering discomfort, because I knew it's something waiting for you. And I
Yeah,
knew that from experience. And that's what I told you. I told you, I can do that, but I trust me, it's not about me. It's not about my credential, if you can get results or not. It's about something about you. So listen to your gut.
yeah.
What is your gut telling you? Do you remember how, that's kind of like the scary moment that you decide? And do you remember what you told me just after you signed? And it was before going
I
on, like,
already, yeah, I think I said something like, I already have clarity.
yes, that is the
Yeah,
key there, right? That clarity.
yeah.
Do you want to share something about that? I think
Uh,
it's so common, and I have been there as well when I
yeah,
invested in my own mentorship, that in that moment of, oh, should I go for it or not? Because of course, any change is a bit scary. It's the nature of human being, because our brain wants to protect us. Do you want to say something about that?
it's a great question. I recall it and I have goosebumps because, yeah, exactly that moment was, yeah, I already feel like I did something new. I
Mm-hmm.
already feel like I took action towards my better,
Mm-hmm.
my next self.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like, exactly. It was the time before my vacation, and I knew that I will come back to the vacation, and I already have a plan
Yeah.
with you, like that we're going into coaching, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have like sessions and
Mm-hmm.
how it will look like. And I felt like, okay, I took care of my future self, and now I can rest
Rest.
assured
Yeah.
on vacation that I can chill and not be in this overthinking moment, like what do I do next? What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't.
And
Yeah, I didn't want to have this.
yeah, and undecisiveness, because that was
Yeah,
one of the topics of, because many times, and especially as a leader, we will come, I have some questions on that,
yeah,
but I think it's a good moment to talk about that. Like sometimes we ruminate a lot and we stay with one decision and kind of don't trust ourselves that, I kind of know what my answer is or what my decision is, but in a way, like, am I making that decision? So we worked also on that topic specifically for you already when we started chatting during your vacation, before even your first session. You had some big decisions, leadership decisions going on.
Yeah. I felt like I needed support already because I had to have a couple of leadership decisions that were not easy, but I knew that they should be done. But like just probably going through this uncomfortable feelings and emotions that go hand in hand with making leadership decisions and like making tons of them every day on different levels. Yeah, it's probably about being comfortable with what you decided.
Yeah. But also one other thing, because I remember this was the first tool I gave you. Do you remember the gauge of from the position of fear, from the position of power? That was one I remember. That was your first tool that you applied, and I told you.
Yeah, it was probably one of first shifts in my mindset and the way I framed how I feel, how I see the situation. This actually helped a lot to transform from this like negative thought patterns to actually having this agency, understanding, hey, actually I can control what I'm doing.
Yes,
and I'm managing myself and I have options and I can choose. And I know the choice instinctively. I know that what the choice will be right, and I will deal with everything that will come later, and I'm capable of doing that.
Yes, trusting yourself.
Trusting myself, exactly.
Nice. I think we covered like the story of where you were, and I loved when we were discussing with each other. You also mentioned that you basically were in the question of like, I've reached this, what now, plus this I love the way you described it to me, that there was a gap between this external achievements and your internal stability and what I call fulfillment. And we talked about that as well. Do you want to share a little bit about like where you were, and then we will walk into how it shifted over working together?
Yeah, the gap is that I think partially was I felt that there was something off, considering my values and my long-term strategy, if I had any. So, yeah, I mean, I think every person feels that something's off. I just don't recognize it, and sometimes you just have this fear on acting on it and changing something.
Yeah. Oh, beautifully said. So many of us notice the nudge from within.
Yeah,
and
there's something wrong.
Something's off.
Like in the body.
I don't know. Yeah. And that was also like for you wrote to me that I don't know, is it my job? Is it like the line of work? Is it my other passions or creativity? Should I, there were like some open question about options for you. So you knew there was a nudge and something was off, but you didn't necessarily know what it was. And you had the courage to take this step to act on it.
Yeah.
Make something of that feeling.
And I think this is the great point, a great moment to actually recall this shift of mindset to a designer mindset, that it shouldn't be all black and white. Choose right now till death, you do this. You can do smaller steps. I think I even like this decision tree. It appeared in my, it was built in my mind that, okay, I can decide this, there are different options, I can act on it, and I can experiment, I can
Yeah.
iterate, I can learn from them. And then actually I have the agency and I have the full authority of my life to then reevaluate
Yes.
my focus, reevaluate my goals, reevaluate my even my productivity system, reevaluate how I work, how I think, and that this is something that that is manageable. That is not something that's like one-time thing to do, and it's a part of. I think you also taught me this thing about mental fitness.
Yes.
It's like training your mind to to have different habits, not only like physical habits, but also mindset habits.
Yes, yeah, love that you remember. And I also love that you mentioned, that I bring this kind of designer mindset from my years in tech and design, because, it's something that has been paying off in industry for creating amazing products. And basically, when I asked, you're not the only one, like basically all of my clients have mentioned that, okay, this designer mindset, that was like one of the best things that I learned from you. So I'm so grateful that it was the case for you as well. So let's now talk about, we talked about a little bit about why you decided to work with coaching, but I'm also curious because you are a person, you mentioned that you had therapy, you mentioned even that you had some leadership coaching or education
Yes.
before joining me. So you had experience even with coaching, but it was a different sort of coaching. But still you chose to work with me. So I'm very curious, what was, after now that you have done these 12 weeks with me, what did you notice that was different in this approach, working with me, compared to what you had done before?
That was 100% is your like presence all the time. I felt like, and it was true, you were there for me every time I reached out. Like we had, I think, daily. It was every day. We were talking on Slack, in audio, in writing, and I had this every morning, this habit that, okay, now I think and act on my next coaching tasks. And I will reflect on it and share it with you, and like just having you like by my side, always supporting me one-to-one, understanding, and also I think also understanding me from as a woman leader, all the nuances, all the maybe not obvious things that that I could learn from as a newbie in leadership. I think just being for me all the time that I needed it, and actually trained me to reach out when I need help.
Yes, interesting that you mentioned it, because you are a very independent person.
Oh, I am. I am. Yeah, and it was really hard for me to learn because I was like, how? I even remember when we started, it's like, how should I do it? Should I structure it as I do, like set tasks for teams or people, for instance, or should it be like unstructured and like the way it flows from my and how my thought goes, and you're like, just reach out the way you need it, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. Oh, so
yeah. I think it's also two things that you mentioned. It's like, I also want to just appreciate that you had that drive and commitment to change. Like every day I knew that around 8 o'clock CET, Daria gonna send me something. Either it was documents to review, either it was your reflection of the day, or some, we always had something, right? So you always knew exactly what I'm hoping for you to take as your next step. And I would always say, Daria, it's not a must. I give you suggestions. You
Yeah.
choose what you want to do, but I'm here to support you.
Yeah.
And you were very good in, like, you really were committed to change and really stepping into that next level, which I really appreciated. And it made working with you super, super fun as well. And the other thing was actually this topic of many of us high achievers, and especially many of my clients, they are very capable, they are very independent, and asking for help or asking for support or delegating doesn't come naturally. And especially for you as a leader, that's one of the very important topics. We actually touched upon it very early on. And I remember we started in your personal life. You remember what it was that you told me, and I was like, bravo for like making progress. Do you remember what you delegated to your partner?
Yeah, yeah, it was actually also something that I didn't overthink that much, and also stepped out from my perfectionism cycle, because knowing myself back then, I could like I'm like teasing a bit. Knowing myself back then, I could make a plan, I could suggest multiple scenarios and like do a very big negotiations. But then I noticed that actually my husband can make breakfast, like smoothie breakfast for me every morning, and he is happy to do it. And and I don't have to think about what I eat, how and when I prepare it for myself, because I don't like to start my morning slow. And it was such an obvious, like, when I just started to think about, okay, what actually is what would I improve with just in my daily routine that will help support me more. I'm like, actually, yeah, I can just ask for that, and he did it, and he still does it, and I still do it every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these changes are sometimes very small, but with big impacts.
Yes.
And we talked about both personal and professional, setting boundaries, but also delegation and making sure that you take on what is yours. We talked about that you not taking on something that is not yours to take on. We talked about that specifically in terms of you have your team, and what is your role as a leader versus going into the autopilot high achiever pattern of like that we have high standards and we want to take on so much automatically because we can.
Yeah, that's changed a lot actually. And once I draw this boundary, I cannot say it was like one-time thing. I think it was coming up every once, maybe for some time, and we were talking with you, and you were like highlighting for me that, hey, you're now doing this again. You're doing this again. And I'm like, yeah, actually, and I don't want to do it. So, I mean, to not delegate or to take on more that I can do. And yeah, appreciate that you highlighted, like from outer perspective, that I keep on doing things and I like sliding a bit. So, yeah, and I think once you become a manager of managers, this is the position where a lot of people get scared. And it's really something that I was not taught how to become, stop being an individual contributor and become a leader. And there are different responsibilities, different roles, different level of impact, and actually recognizing that, hey, I'm here because I'm capable of doing this, of making these decisions, because I'm confident that I can do the best for the company. And that's why I'm there. Not because I can write a copy or or a new landing page or create video. Of course I can do this, but this is like a different level of working with people, and completely different mindset.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also very common pattern for high achievers, and especially when you take on that promotion, that new job, the sneaky imposter syndrome coming. What,
Um,
how did I end up here?
mm, I think we also worked a lot on that. Um, and I have, I cannot say that I'm completely 100% off of that thoughts. I don't think about it, but I'm very like every now and then I recall sentences like these phrases that you told me, and automatically they pop up in my head, and it makes me like grounded. Like,
Yeah,
hey, if I'm here, it means that I'm already good. Like no
yeah,
one would invest or place the bet in high stakes in business
mhm,
for the to place a bet on the leader that wouldn't make it, because I already made it. That's why I already
yeah,
proved myself. And I was like, I think I didn't see it before. That,
yeah,
hey, I already made it. That's why I earned my place.
yeah,
But also, it's not about the external validation of me being a leader by business owners or CEOs and stuff, but also owning that. And actually, I might jump maybe to another topic, but having this internal confidence that I am capable to figure it out because I've done it already so many times before,
yeah,
and I visualizing how this um, how I would behave and feel
mm,
when I am this confident type of Daria. That
yeah.
helps me still. I use it every day.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. I also asked you about this is also one of the tools I bring from design, the persona,
Yeah.
and, and we build your most confident persona. And this is one of the very first steps that I do with clients. And you wrote to me that was one of the top tools that you still use.
Yes. Yeah. I think um, I still use my anchors
Yeah.
for being for my confident, the most confident persona, and I um, have this understanding that she already exists within me.
Mm,
It's not something that that I have to imagine. It's not something that is fake.
yeah.
Uh, it's
Or
already something,
fabricated.
yeah, or complicated. It's already something that I know how it feels, and I know how I act.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, it's been it's
yeah.
been the best tool probably for me.
Yeah. I'm so happy for the impact that it has had. Um, So we now kind of talked about, like we talked about the designer mindset that
Yeah.
you mentioned as one of the tools and strategies that we use that was notable for you. We talked about the confident persona. Um, and now I want to hear if you have anything else to add, like during our work together. I mentioned that already during the first week, you started seeing some mindset shifts and you started implementing and saw changes, saw results. And I'm curious to hear a bit more about the tools, the strategies, or changes that you implement that were notable for you and they had impact for you personally and professionally.
I think one of the biggest parts of us working together was fighting, or not fighting, but actually taming maybe a bit of my perfectionism.
Yeah,
um, yeah, I found myself spending hours on things that don't actually move the needle and don't that
yeah.
matter that much. I
Mm-hmm.
even remember our first tasks, like some of the tools that we worked on together. I spent enormous amount of time like
Yeah,
trying to figure out what would be the best. And then um, And then I was like, oh, this is not the most efficient, not the
Yeah.
most productive way to spend the time of my life. And
Mhm.
actually, things are much easier than I imagine and overthink in my head. So, like using the time blockers
Mhm.
um, to make smaller iterations if it's a
Yeah.
big
Mhm.
task, or just feeling comfortable with my first draft, or letting it as is, and being comfortable with having it
Yeah.
afterwards. It's I think it made a lot of difference because I
Mhm.
started to be much more productive.
Mhm.
The things that took hours or maybe days, and I was
Mhm.
overthinking about and creating different versions before presenting or even talking to anyone about my ideas, they started to take 15 minutes, 25
Mhm.
minutes, and actually some
Amazing.
things could be done in a couple of minutes, even without overthinking. And I know already how to do it, and I can do it fast. So yes, I think like just doing things faster, probably it's one part, but then out of everything that what is getting done, it's not. Um, what choosing among all these things, what moves the needle personal for me, and how it helps to achieve my goals, not
Yeah.
someone else's.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think like this time blockers, and the second part is like for me they're connected because I work with them every day.
Mhm.
Um, this productivity system that we set up together. Oh, it's been a life changer. To be honest. And the way how you taught me to work on it, how to review on it, and like see and actually understand that, hey, I can also iterate on this
Mhm.
on this. It's
And
not,
have fun with it.
yeah, yeah, I had fun with it. And I can also test and see what approaches feel okay for me, what doesn't work for me, what routines I would like to have,
Yeah.
and what routines are just some very popular routines that don't fit my brain and the way I
Exactly.
operate.
Mm. Yeah. And that's coming back again to that designer mindset, because the first thing, like having your persona, who is this next level Daria, in the
Yeah,
center of everything else we did, decision makings, and taking actions. And for also for the productivity system, we talked about exactly that let's see what part of it works for you and doesn't, and why, so we can create something that is for you. So it's basically coming back to that I brought from design, like the user-centered design, and in this case Daria-centered productivity system. Like
yeah,
there's
exactly.
no solution that can work for everyone. So I always told you, yes, there are best practices, but you, until you prototype, until you experiment, you will not know
Yes,
if
exactly.
it
Until
works
you
for
take
you or not.
action, you don't know what fits.
Yes,
and
exactly.
and then like noticing what frictions it causes and what could be not done, and being okay with letting things go,
Yeah,
stopping some projects, stopping doing something that doesn't fit,
yeah,
like just letting go. It's also a habit that's been very valuable
yeah.
to
And I
learn.
also mention, I always, when I talk about you, I introduce you as uh, Daria, the multi-passionate leader,
Yeah,
because you are a person like myself. Uh,
yeah,
um, you are interested in so many things. You have this artistic side, and you had a lot of ideas, and it's something that I see I had myself when I was younger. So it was um, a lot of ideas, but kind of me running from one to the other without making any tangible progress. And we talked also about that, like what does it mean to be a multi-passionate person, how not to suppress sides of ourselves, embrace them, but at the same time, do not let them prevent you from creating impact, creating the success that you deserve, basically. Would you like to share something of your experience in relation to how this coaching helped you as a multi-passionate person?
yeah. That's been very interesting part of coaching. I think looking clearly at using this designer mindset tool and looking clearly at different passions that I had and different life scenarios that we were like brainstorming together based on my multiple passions.
Yeah.
um, it gave this clarity to see how all of this can actually live within me, and without putting myself in the box and putting a label like this is Daria, the marketer in tech. This is Daria, wife. This is Daria, aspiring artist. And I think like having this clarity, having the first steps into building the life that I wanted from these scenarios, it gave me a lot of learnings about myself. But what is it? Some things I understand that they were like far from reality, or I expected too fast results. I had like black and white mindset. I wanted, like, I started to do it, and now that's it. In a month, I should be fully a person who's like a made up artist already.
Yeah.
So yeah, like having these scenarios and steps, making smaller, transforming them into smaller iterations, into smaller projects, setting up goals that are
Experiments.
achievable, that are measurable. This is something that helped with my personal life. It advanced a lot the way how I work every day with my team as well. It actually, I think, just one person taking a coaching sessions and courses and a program can change not only themselves, but also impact life of people that are around, and like collaborating with the person as well. So the way I started to work with myself, and actually I started to make space for myself to work on myself and my identities as separate projects, not closing my eyes as like, no, you shut up, and then like, but rather than embracing it, understanding that it is here, and some of steps could be done now, some of them could be done later, and just being conscious about that. Not too emotional, not too out of control. This is something that changed
Yeah.
the way I live.
So happy to hear. So it's basically you leading yourself, like the self-leadership that we talked about,
Yeah.
and also designing it step by step. And the vision is there, but it doesn't matter if you don't act on it, if you don't experiment with it, if you don't gather more and more information.
Yeah.
That
And
will,
also helps to be a bit kinder with yourself.
yes.
Talk kinder, like understanding that, yes, I'm my best, my own best project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think high achievers have amazing skills of managing projects for work for someone else to achieve success in different systems that are not theirs, but forgetting to, or maybe even not looking at your life as a project, or yourself as a project, and your identities as
Yeah.
projects.
Yeah, nicely put. Thank you. We talked about tangible results. So one of the things that you mentioned was that your performance and productivity at work increased
Yeah.
because of working with perfectionism, not overthinking, and becoming faster in decision making, but
Yeah.
also like setting boundaries, delegation, and all those questions. Um, is there anything else that you would like to talk about? Boundaries at work, expectations on yourself. personally and professionally, but also, you know, that this success and this leadership path that you are on, making it sustainable. Because we talked about that it doesn't matter how successful you are, if it's after 1 year, then you are like not able to continue with the same
Yeah.
pace and way of working.
Yeah, I think as your capacity externally expands, and then you, I think something that I also learned is to create this, to expand my inner capacity into holding, into consistency, into holding, containing my acknowledging, but also at the same time, after that, working and containing my emotions, because I'm very emotional person, and sometimes I think I was like overly emotional. That led me into, I don't want to say that it was overly emotional, but like it didn't help to be grounded, to have this clarity, and to have a strategic next step. So emotions were all over the place. I think another tool that we learned together is like recognizing emotions in the moment. It also helped a lot to understand when, how, and what I feel.
Yeah,
And just by
labeling.
acknowledging this and understanding, yeah, I'm like this. I'm kind to myself. I think this is something, this is the way that could be lived. And actually this is something that makes my life amazing,
Yes. Yeah.
and worth living,
Yeah, and
but
owning
also not
that.
preventing me from being a strategic person, being a leader, making decisions. Yeah, I think this is the tool that was also very helpful. Yeah. What else I was talking
No,
about?
I
I
think
have my
it was, no, you said it very beautifully. I think I also emphasize a lot on this. I actually had a seminar on powerful persona at the company yesterday, and I talked about this, that I don't believe, and it's something that I tell all of my clients, I told you as well, that I'm not here to tell you or promise you that there will be no negative emotions.
yes.
If anyone tells you that, that's just telling you not to be human. And in particular for people like you and I, because I'm also highly sensitive personality trait that is recognized, that you feel deeply, much more than average person.
Intensely.
And yes, intensely, both the beauty of the world, but also the pain of the world, bigger than us or within us. And you and I both having experienced our countries, you know, going through a lot, me from Iran, you from Ukraine, and learning to give this emotion space, but not letting it control or direct.
Yes. Yes.
Because then you have, and your, you know, this amazing smart brain of you has capability to lead you and to direct you, but it's also important not to suppress those emotions and really getting, like, owning it. I always talk about like owning that I'm a sensitive person. I'm always
Yes.
upfront
And
with
there,
it. And
and there is nothing wrong about that. This is my
no,
strength, actually.
yes,
Yeah, and this is that I think I became more confident about claiming it, owning it, and sharing this part of my story with other people. I think maybe one of the biggest things that brought me like confidence and made a difference for me, that with all these tools and all this help from you, I tuned my narrative about myself for myself and started to own it, and I started to be more confident about sharing it with other people.
yeah. Beautiful. And how does it make you feel, and how does it help your personal and professional life, you think?
This is something that makes me feel like I'm empowered for achieving better life for myself. That is something that I feel like I live in the moment right now, and this is life.
Yeah.
And it's so honest. It's so like true to myself, and it's not like compromising or hiding some parts of myself that I just want to tell or hide just because to make someone comfortable or to make some like just to make someone comfortable and to hide myself. But then what's the life about? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Um, Let me see what else I wanted to talk to you about. Um, some people that approach me, I mean, and I'm sure some people that either now are listening or will listen to the recording of this talk, they want to know if coaching, and specifically coaching with me, is a good fit for them. Who do you think is a good fit for my coaching approach and my way of coming to this world and the approach that you have experienced? Who do you think will be a good fit?
I think people who are on this edge of transformation, who feel like there is something better out there for them, and they are know that there is something better for themselves. They want to make this next level person of themselves and to grow, but don't have maybe just don't have tools, don't understand how to handle it, don't understand how to, and have maybe confidence that it's possible, and the habits to expand yourself maybe. So I would say that coaching program with you definitely helped me to live through this transformation of myself.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
And I also remember from your notes that you mentioned that two things that stayed with me. One, you said it's good for people that their external success and their internal state.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like as we probably early in our careers or in our life, I think a lot of our motivation comes from external validation, and the steps that you kind of supposed to be doing or expected to do, but then at some point you have this feelings like, is it actually for me? Is it about my path? Is it about something that I chose for myself? Like when you go on living by not your inner compass, you feel that bigger gap between what's truly yours and what's not. So this is kind of an existential and sense, I would say existential question, and also building new senses for yourself, new goals, new understanding of what I want, how I want to live my life, who I want to be, how I want to act on my values. Do I want to be maybe more free from external understanding of how success looks like, and defining how my success looks like. This is something that I think that was very helpful to recognize in myself, and to learn, get the tools how to align it better
and act on it.
Yes.
I'm like action.
And action, yes.
In person.
Everything about action, yes.
Yes. Even if tiny, even if small.
Just and small.
Yeah.
Just for small learning, it gives you so
Yeah.
much more information about yourself and the world and the life that you think you want to live and what life you're living.
And you also mentioned something about that sometimes we are on a path or a growth journey that maybe no one in our surrounding has been before or is on.
Yes. Yeah. I think this is also was one of the reasons why we started working together, why I chose to go on this path, because no one from my closest friends, family, colleagues, we all live in different contexts, and no one knew how to help me. So they didn't live the life that I lived. They were not like everyone has their own path. Yeah. And yeah, just having someone like you by your side, it's like instills confidence, instills it feels like you're not alone to handle that.
Yeah, amazing. And we talked about systems, tools, productivity system and structure. And some people, their first reaction when they hear these sort of words is kind of like resistance, because they feel like it's going to take their freedom, especially if they are creative or multi-passionate or they have a lot of ideas. What was your experience in terms of like feeling more or less free and experiencing more or less freedom now compared to before, that you didn't have this system and these tools that I helped you set in place for yourself?
Oh, this is such a good question. Extremely good question. I think to be honest, I feel more in control of my life than ever before. I feel like I have the choice every day. I wake up, I have the choice what to do today. I know that these things that I will choose to do today, they're not a part of my to-do list, and I'm not pressured to do it, but they're aligned with my goals. And whatever step I take, I know even the smallest one, even like tiny, I know that it's still gonna be something, and it's better than nothing. And it's gonna take me a small step towards life that I want to have.
Yeah. Nice. I'm so happy to hear that. And you also mentioned the inner campus that we created for you. Do you want to talk a little bit how that tool was and how it helped you, both as a leader, but also in your personal life?
When I think about or recall the inner compass tool, I recall, I think we worked on that so good that I instinctively, when I have to decide or choose something, I go into that feeling of inner compass and recalling actually what my values are, and deciding out of them instead of reacting.
Beautiful.
And just having the space before choosing, deciding, to have the space in your mind where you can actually choose the best for yourself. This is a very helpful thing that I believe everyone in their transformation phase can they can use can use to feel better and to feel more in control in their lives and feel more freedom. Actually, this is I like the saying that this is exactly the moment of freedom that a human has, when you have a choice and when you decide what to invest in, what to do with your life.
Yes. Yeah.
this or
Exactly.
next moment.
Yeah. Very beautifully put. Thank you very much, Daria. It was such an interesting discussion, and I think I'm just going to go through my notes to see if I have something else that I want to talk to you about. Um, mm, I will end with one question, and then, of course, leave space if you have any comments to add. What would you tell someone that they are kind of curious about coaching, specifically with me, but they are in that kind of doubting moment of should I go for it or not? What would you tell them? Or
Trust
what?
your gut.
Yes, trust your gut, and that's what you would also tell Daria summertime.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Trust your gut. Yes.
Mm. Nice. Trust your gut. And what would you tell them in terms of what is waiting for them? If they trust their gut, if they make this decision, what is waiting for Daria?
Um, Maybe a different branch of reality that is filled with um, different opportunities to make life feel better, to make
Mhm.
my personal life better, my career life better, to think strategically about what I want and what I do. Um, yeah, so I would say it's like a big pile of different opportunities once you make that step.
Mhm. Yeah, nice. And what do you want to tell me about? We started chatting before formally getting into question talking
Yeah.
about unshakable confidence and the shift you made.
yeah, yeah, it's my favorite phrase now. It's like I'm Daria with unshakable confidence. This is what I tell myself, and this is actually that helps me to turn into the mode when I don't feel like 100% every day. Not none of us. Yeah, just having this thought reframed, escape this negative thought pattern about thinking, like criticizing myself or thinking about some negative, generalizing some situations and making a catastrophe out of it. I'm recalling that, hey, I'm Daria with unshakable confidence. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, nice. I'm so happy for you really stepping into that next level, Daria. And I'm so excited for the life you designed, and I was there to support you designing and the career that you are taking a step towards. And of course, it's not something that happens overnight, but the tools and the approach and the mindset changes that you have had during this time to make that happen and the reality for yourself, make that dream a reality for yourself. So happy for you, and I cannot wait just to follow your journey and see what more magic, what more success and impact you create. And I'm so grateful for knowing you, having you on my coaching container. If you have any comments, any thoughts you would like to share.
I appreciate you being with me on this path and sharing this together, and it's a true honor and joy to know you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me your time.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to share the story.
Yeah. I'm sure people will enjoy listening to your stories. You have always had this beautiful connection with words, and I'm sure people will learn a lot listening to you and will get inspired by your story.
Yeah, I hope so. And yeah, I think maybe for someone who's watching it in recording, I think you can always reach out if you have any questions regarding Paria's approach, or you have any hesitations, or you want someone to talk to. So I'm always happy to help and open. I think Paria will leave my nickname on Instagram.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah, of course. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much, Darian. Have a
Yeah.
lovely evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take
Likewise,
care.
Paria. Hugs.
Thank you. Big hugs. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.